Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, I want to take a look at 5 different trade setups that I'm looking to enter for longs based off of 3 swing pattern failure trades and others that are just at levels or hopefully will go down to levels that I think would be optimal entries. And so we have Cardano, Injective, Nakamoto Games, Solana, and Chainlink. I've done a decent amount of charting today. I have 6 others that I'm working on that I'll make a video on tomorrow. Members only live stream will be taking more of a deep dive looking at these particular entries. But we'll do all those things, but before we do all that, as always, this is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, and while I appreciate that so many of you are hopping in here from all over the place, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification button as well so that you don't miss a thing with this rapidly evolving crypto space. And I have a special announcement I want to say real quick. A Bing X rep reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in letting you know that if you sign up for Bing X using the link in the description section of this video, you will instantly get $50 free sometime on or after Tuesday, July 16th. So click that link. You will need a VPN. So I have a NordVPN for 3 free months of NordVPN. You will need a VPN to get in on Bing X if you live in the United States or the UK. So head on over to bingx.com for $50 free if you sign up, and there's a lot of other perks as well. But okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. I want to start out with Cardano first. And here's what I've been looking at with Cardano. I actually drew this out a few weeks ago because people were getting very impatient, wanting to know when a good time to enter was. And Cardano's just always been a cryptocurrency that I've kind of looked at as a gauge of where are altcoins going. And I noticed this, it was, put in a higher high in March, and then it put in a lower low on the daily, and I was like, uh-oh, this may be the end of a run of sorts for altcoins. And I saw a lot of cryptocurrencies starting to put in lower lows, and I didn't think it would get as bad to the extent that Cardano got. And I did communicate in that video that there may be, I wasn't putting this in the forefront of my mind, but in the back of my mind, there may be a few months here where things get pretty ugly. Now, again, I didn't think it was going to get as bad as it did. And so people were asking me, looking for a bottom, like what's going to happen over the next few weeks? When would I be interested on making some kind of entry on these cryptos? And I drew it out. I don't know if you can see it all that well, but I drew the lines here, and you can see we followed along perfectly. And I suspect that something similar to this is going to happen, which is exactly, I drew this. When did I draw this out? This was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago that I draw this out, it's following along very well. Now, 3 weeks ago, I'm saying like I'm not even considering buying this potentially in 3 weeks. That seems like an eternity. Now that we're closer to the date, here we go. And maybe we're going to put in a higher low and then start a new uptrend. And so here's my entry for Cardano is this yellow box here. This is a swing pattern failure trade. I am interested in longing Cardano at the top, pretty much the top of the box. And so what price is that? Around a little under 37 cents, or sorry, 38 cents. And I'll show you all of these price entries at the end of this video. But if you want to remember, you want to write it down yourself, Cardano around 38 cents is what I'm looking for. I do think it's going to get there. And based off of this drawing, which I did very crudely, so forgive me for that, but that wouldn't happen until maybe, another 10 days or so. But I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. And I do think that we've gotten a little bit ahead of ourselves, and that really the Trump assassination attempt has brought us to a level that we would have eventually gotten to with these prices, because the market is pricing in the potential of Donald Trump winning even more so than it was before. So Donald Trump being good for crypto, of course, and he's going to speak at the Bitcoin conference. But that's my expectation, is that we will get down a little bit, that we're not just going straight up from here. It's been almost a week now of almost straight up in a lot of cryptocurrencies. So here's my entry. That is a swing pattern failure entry. Like I said, a little under 38 cents. Injective is next. Now, Injective is not a swing pattern failure entry, but the thing that I really like about this entry is, again, like I talk about, if I was a full-time trader, I'm more of a full-time content creator who focuses a little bit on trading, which is probably costing me a little bit, because when it comes to trading, you really want to be able to focus as much as possible on the charts, and I just can't do that So anyway, Injective is one of those that's just held very well at this key support level. You know, this tends to happen. Massive liquidation wick the day that it seemed like there was that big fear of World War III, and we tend to grind for a little bit and then sweep the lows. And we have swept the lows here with Injective. I am hoping. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to happen, but it has swept the lows. It's held that as support very well. And my hope is that we would see Injective maybe make one more move down to these levels of the liquidation lows. And you could see it bounced off there perfectly last Friday. And these are lines that I've drawn, that I drew long before then. But it bounced off of there perfectly last Friday. That might be our last chance. But I am going to set a limit order right at 1908, maybe 19.1. I don't remember what I put on my spreadsheet. But around there for maybe one more move. You know, certainly it can go lower if we lose if this is a fake out, if this is a bull trap. Okay, but I think that there would be some kind of a bounce off of that level pretty, you know, the first time it got down there, if it does. And we still haven't broken through the 50-day EMA in quite a while. We did break through the 20-day EMA, so that's good with Injective. But Injective hasn't even, it's still in a downtrend. It has not put in a higher high over the last few weeks, but I do like this level holding with Injective. Now, Chainlink is next. Chainlink, I made some money shorting Chainlink over the last week. We see a very clear support resistance flip here, and this is dating back all the way to November, where we were in this zone for a while, broke out to a higher zone, went right back down into the zone that we were in for quite a while, had a false breakout to the upside in May, and then what's hopefully going to be a false breakout to the downside in July, in the first week of July, and now Chainlink has broken back up. I am hoping that this is now, it was a support resistance flip. I'm hoping this is a resistance to support flip, because it was heavy resistance, this green level here, 13.18, $13.18. We couldn't break through multiple times, and I did open a couple shorts here and made a few bucks, nothing huge. So I am hoping that this is now again support. It was resistance. Now again, I'm hoping it's support. So about $13.18 is an entry, a level that I will be looking to long. However, the 20-day EMA is right now in the middle of that level, and so maybe the way that it'll work out is that this is a wick below the 20-day EMA, somewhere between $13.18 and $13.77 would be a good entry on Chainlink. I'm looking for lower in this liquidity zone for Chainlink. This is also not a swing pattern failure trade, but Cardano and Nakamoto is. So actually, there's only two swing pattern failure trades: Cardano and Nakamoto. Some of the ones that I have coming tomorrow are swing pattern failure trades, which, if you're wondering what that is, if ever you see a yellow box on my chart, that is a swing pattern failure trade. If you're confused as to what a swing pattern failure trade is, watch my video that I made on swing pattern failure trading. I think it's a very good way of trading with very little risk and high reward. And so Nakamoto Games is the third one. I looked at a Nakamoto Games chart last week, and I saw a lot of strength in this chart, which made me want to look for a good entry. We do have already formed a higher high on the daily, but we did put in a lower low on July 5th, that day that everything took a dump. I don't know if I want to count that as a lower low, but I do think that it will get back into the swing pattern failure trade level. And so what we have here is somewhere between $1.04 and $1.12, and so I have that on the spreadsheet. That's what I'm looking for with Nakamoto Games. And then Solana, like I said, Solana is not in swing pattern failure trade territory. I don't think it's going to go down there. We've already put in a higher high on the daily anyway, so this wouldn't count. But here's what I'm looking for with Solana. I would not be longing Solana right now. The 20-week simple moving average has been on multiple occasions now resistance. This is the third time in a row that we have hit the 20-week simple moving average as resistance. I think this is actually a terrible time to be longing Cardano or Solana, aside from the fact that we do have a clear W bottom here, a double bottom. But I think we have one more move down, especially given how exciting things have been the last few days. People have been asking me for those sure thing 10Xs and 20Xs in my live streams. It's just something I pay attention to. I think we have a little bit more down before we're going to see some moves higher. So I'm paying attention right now to the 0.5 retrace. This is from its all-time high to its bear market bottom. So the 0.5 retrace, I don't think we're going to get back down to this level that, again, 125.97 was a perfect place to be looking for a long. I don't think we're getting back down there again, but I do like the idea of heading back down to the 0.5 retrace. You can see 3 days ago we did hold that as support after breaking through. There were other times that we've had some kind of interaction with that. I could see a wick below the 21-week EMA, the 20-day EMA, things like that. There's potential here. If that's too low, I would say the bottom of the bull market support band for Solana would be a good entry. That's around 141, but I'm sticking with 135, 136, somewhere around there, and you'll see that on my trading spreadsheet here. And so here are all my entries as of right now that I have listed on this sheet. Cardano at 37.81 cents, Injective at $19.80. Chainlink at $13.18, Nakamoto Games at $1.12, Solana at 136. My expectation is actually that these are not going to fill this week. I would expect them potentially to fill next week. We'll see, but I'm going to be keeping these open for quite a while until we see some kind of a breakout into a new range, especially what was one that I was thinking of. If Solana got above the 618 retrace and got back into the golden pocket, I think that would be invalidated. If Injective somehow got above $31.69, you could see that's the top of the range that we've been in for quite a while with Injective. There's certain things that would invalidate that. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep these open until we have broken out, or until we've broken down. Invalidation levels, I will cover those at a later date, but it's pretty much basically around the time that you would see these cryptocurrencies put lower lows in. If Injective for some reason got below $17, I'm probably going to set a stop loss somewhere around there. Cardano would have to put in a lower low, but swing pattern failure, that wouldn't be too painful. Again, I recommend low leverage, not high leverage with these entries, but I'm feeling pretty confident about these entries. You're just going to have to be patient because, like I said, again, I think it's going to take a bit of time to fill these. All right, so that is all I have for today. Take a screenshot of these prices if you want. Next time around, I will be covering Algorand, Internet Computer, Near, Ondo, Pendle, and Tau. So 6 more in tomorrow's video, and I think that's about going to be the end of these new entries. I haven't really done any particular trades on my trading spreadsheet since early June. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week. I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.